Chris, though, personal electronic die cutting machines, they've been around for years, and yet there is one more way to use them. You know this machine by the brand name Cricut or Silhouette or Sizzix. This amazing tool is typically associated with paper crafters, but fabric lovers also are tapping into the power of the personal laser cutter, and Chris Thurgood is all over that for us. And as you can see, the application is just fun and beyond. You're really having some fun with this.
Oh my goodness, I'm having a lot of fun and being able to use some great new fabrics to go with it.
So we've seen over the last couple of years, predominantly paper crafters jump onto this. Is the application similar? Can you do similar things but with fabric?
You know, it definitely is similar, but you know, you have a lot more options with fabric because you have so many different patterns to choose from, and you can actually extend it beyond crafting and go into home dec, into clothing, and some other fun things like that when you focus on fabric.
You just showed your hand. It almost sounded like a challenge. Yes, but there are more.
Right.
But with fabric, there are more possibilities. Well, let's take a look at some of the projects you've done. This banner kind of sets us off.
The banner is really fun. You know, banners have been around for a while, but I don't think they're going out of style anytime soon.
Never.
People are still loving them, and it's a really easy thing to do. I did it on fabric, so I put a heat and bond underneath it to be able to stabilize the fabric as it goes through the cutter, and then you iron it onto the burlap.
You have to do that every time?
Very simple.
You cut, stabilize the fabric?
When you're doing fabric, you want to use a stabilizer. Unlike when you do paper, you don't need to worry about that.
Because the cardstock's naturally thicker.
Exactly.
Look at these hoops.
So very simple to do. The hoops, this is a really fun idea. This is a trend that's out there quite a bit, is being able to just take fabric and put it into different size hoops and use it as a collage on your wall.
Because the fabric is a showpiece enough these days.
Absolutely.
With the color and the pattern.
Yes, and having the wooden hoop is very, very fun and very on trend right now. And then we took for the fabric, we used the heat set vinyl, is what I was trying to come up with the word.
That's the black shape?
That's the black shape, and use the heat set vinyl to be able to adhere it to the fabric permanently. And it has a glitter effect on this one in particular.
It's almost like a hologram, depending on where you stand. Like you can't quite read it, or the batt's kind of fuzzy, which adds to the overall look and appeal there. That's adorable.
And on this one, this is just a regular canvas piece that you would just pick up at the craft store. Or if you have a canvas that's old and you want to repurpose it, go ahead and put some fabric over the top of it. Just staple gun it on the back. And then I cut out an applique, also out of fabric, and just adhered it to the backdrop.
So it's one thing to let this machine do the work for us, essentially, and make those cuts, draw those designs, but you say it also allows you to get more intricate with the design.
Yeah, it really does. When you start getting into more intricate cutting, let's take this for example, this pillow over here. Lots of applique shapes on here. So let's say you have a pattern that you have a lot of applique to, and you just don't want to take the time to have to cut all of that out, or even to trace all of those designs onto your stabilizer. Let the machine do the work for you. Go ahead, put your fabric in, stabilize it on top of the mat and put it through, and you're good to go. You have them already cut out for you. There's no tracing involved, and you have it ready to just put right onto the background of your project.
Really, you've saved about 2 or 3 steps.
You really have. You really have.
Let me ask you, what defines an applique? Is that just fabric on fabric?
That's a great question. Basically, an applique is fabric on fabric. So when you see this number here, for example, the number 31, that's because I've taken the number 3 and put it onto one piece of fabric and adhered it to another piece of fabric.
So it can be any edge, any shape, it's just the fabric on fabric technique.
So you see that on the t-shirt too. Here's a little, for your little boy for Halloween,
cute.
Put together a cute little applique t-shirt by taking a simple shape. The Silhouette Studio has lots of shapes you can actually download from their website as well, and just take it, make it into fabric, or you could do paper too, but if you want to turn it into clothing, of course you're going to use the fabric. And that applique was really easy to put on. I just used an iron and it was done. I didn't even have to sew around it.
All right, you're going to show us how easy this is. She pointed at me. I didn't even have to sew. I caught it, Chris. I totally caught it.
There was a part of me that said, I better tell her about that.
She's in this circle too.
Exactly. So here is your basic 12-inch mat. Notice it has a little bit of a stick to it. Okay. That's what we want. I'm actually going to demonstrate on paper today, just because for ease of use of not having to pull out the iron and put my fabric in.
But walk us through that step again. If this was fabric, you would have had to pull out the iron, put the fabric stabilizer on it, one more step.
Yeah, I'm just putting an adhesive bond to it on the back, so like a heat and bond, for example.
Okay.
And I'm just going to place that right here. Let's see, we got to get it ready to go.
And you preloaded the design?
Yep,
on your computer?
I preloaded the design. So the software comes with it. It's very simple to do. And I'm just going to hit start.
Something's happening.
Something is definitely going on. So basically I'm cutting out a very simple shape. You can do lots of different layers of fabric too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So for example, on Little Frankenstein, we've got his eyes in a different fabric from his hair, from
But you didn't cut
else.
multiple layers at a time. You do one cut at a time?
You're doing one cut at a time, but you can actually do this all on one mat at a time.
Oh, I see what you mean.
So take a look at this. And voila, here we go.
There's our bat guy.
This perfectly cut bat that I didn't have to, worry about getting a straight line or making my curves perfect. I just don't have to worry about all of that. And it just came out so nicely on there.
Any downsides to cutting with an electronic cutter like this when it comes to the fabric world and fabric projects?
There's really not, because there are so many different options you can do and lots of fun ideas. If you get on the internet, there are so many great ideas from people from all over who are using the electronic die cutting machines to be able to do all sorts of fun things.
Nice to see it expand into the fabric world. It's dominated the paper craft world for so long. And this conversation all leads up to a grand giveaway you have going on.
Yes, we're so excited. We're thrilled that our friends at Silhouette have provided this wonderful giveaway. They are giving away the brand new, just hitting store shelves right now, Cameo 3.
We're talking hundreds of dollars in value.
Hundreds of dollars in value. The Cameo 3, the wonderful thing about it is has Bluetooth technology, so you don't have to worry about hooking up your computer
from your phone. You can just zip it over.
From your iPad, whatever you have.
Nice.
You can zip it over, have it cut out. They're giving that away as well as a bundle of different tools and vinyls and all sorts of different mediums to play with.
This giveaway going on your Facebook page.
Yes, come to my girlfriend's quilt shop Facebook page and register for the giveaway.
Awesome.
And it's real easy. We'll choose a winner next week.
Thank you for showing us the project possibilities.